Hi, this is Andrej. There's this thing, it's called the Honda Africa Twin Challenge. And thanks to this project that happens every year, I'm about to do probably the weirdest and maybe even the dumbest thing I've ever done on a motorcycle. Because every year Honda asks you what can be done with the Africa Twin. And from your answers, one idea is chosen. But this year, 3 ideas have been selected just to make things a bit more challenging. And now I'm carrying out the first of them, which is that the Honda Africa Twin is supposed to do something that, as far as I know, is theoretically impossible. Namely, it's supposed to pull a semi-truck. The worst part about all this is that I've already seen it before. Once I saw on the internet how a guy with an adventure class motorcycle, you know, the kind who believes adventure motorcycles can do everything and are the best, the most powerful, just brilliant. He tried to pull a semi-truck and he didn't succeed. And now, supposedly, I'm supposed to succeed. So we're starting a bit easier because we'll begin with the fact that the tractor unit is by itself without the trailer and it weighs almost 8 tons, 7,900 something. The Africa Twin in this version weighs about 230 kilograms. And it has this little clutch. Of course, it's a manual because DCT. If I'm going to destroy a motorcycle, I really wouldn't want to destroy it, but if one has to get destroyed, then let it be a slightly less complicated one. So as you can see, there's a wonderful kinetic rope rated for 15 tons, because I figured the only chance is for it to stretch and maybe pull something. It's attached to the aluminum subframe, which is bolted on with M10 bolts, or maybe even M8 SI, I don't remember. One advantage is that today I learned how easy and clever it is to remove the fender on a Honda Africa Twin. 4 screws, 3 little connectors, and look how sporty it is. Africa Twin for towing a truck. I put on the back protector. This is the first time I'm putting on a back protector to tow a truck with a motorcycle, just to be safer. Let's just do it. Listen, just so you know, it's flat here. The track has to be started so that the brakes will release. But we agreed, man to man, that for now we won't use any movie magic and we'll really try to pull it. Let's do it then. This challenge was exciting. Let me tell you this. As you can see, anything is possible, but what's the point? I wouldn't call this towing. Rather, with an Africa Twin, you can move a very clean, beautiful, wonderfully maintained motorized truck. I promised I would praise the truck and the driver. The driver did a great job of doing absolutely nothing. I think at one point I really thought he let go of the clutch or shifted into gear, because suddenly it started moving more, and I feel like if I practiced, burned through 3 clutches or so, then I think I could learn to tow trucks with the Africa Twin. The point is this: I thought I could let go of the clutch before the rope was fully taut so that the motorcycle would move together with the truck, but unfortunately it was very, very difficult because the motorcycle was also losing its balance. I didn't want to fall over, so I had to keep working the clutch halfway, and I could feel through the lever that the clutch was just fading. So let me, for the sake of this motorcycle, just spare it from pulling the trailer, because it's possible it could drag it for a few meters, but then the clutch might just give up the ghost. So the motorized truck, beautiful, clean. The engine runs like a dream. Listen, I think it can get anywhere. The Africa Twin is wonderful, amazing, just don't use it to tow truck. Or if someone, I don't know, wants to show off their car, like, look how strong my Africa Twin is, then maybe you could tow a Tico, no problem. Ooh, a Tico would just fly. number. Anyway, just don't do it. You could really mess something up. It was actually pretty funny. I mean, it's a new experience for me. Maybe one day I'll write about it in my diary if I ever start keeping one. And now, let's move on to the next one. Or actually, not right away. We'll move on to the next task in a moment, and then we'll put it all together at the end. Hi! Hi, it's Andrej. I'm in paradise. Part 2, Africa Twin Challenge. I was just pulling a tractor and now I dream of being a farmer and herding geese my whole life on the Africa Twin. There's nothing better. Well, unless it turns out that it's not about plowing the field. Another idea I'm not convinced about, because you need to know, however, the clutch had to be replaced after the truck. I hope the clutch holds up today, because from here we're heading straight to the Seedle Desert. I'm gonna plow the field. We're at the Comic Manor, and we decided it would be better if Dominic, our host, maybe this time he tries not to burn out the clutch and I'll do the plowing. Besides, considering the risk of who ends up eating the rubble from under the tire, that's what I'm paid for, not him. Here you go. Hey, something's not working for me. Oh! Dominic! Oh! Wait. A little adjustment? Oh, now it will work. No, it's going quite well. Does the plowed field like this satisfy you? Maybe the geese will find themselves a little worm or something? Yeah, they go for the worms, yeah. That'll work for them. Can we call this a success? Thank you. You're very helpful. All right, let's go to the desert. I hope I'll find a better role for myself there, because right now I have a fallback role. First, I was riding the Africa Twin. Now I'm getting pelted with dung by the Africa Twin. You have to become a farmer, yeah. For everything this year. We'll see what the Africa Twin has for me in the desert, but I guess it's not for me. Hi. It's me again, Andrej. Fortunately, I don't have to do the third part of the Africa Twin Challenge anymore because I've already burned out one clutch and eaten a bunch of gravel from the village of Kamik, the Kamik farm. A wonderful place for eating dirt. Wonderful. Mwah! And for herding geese. Thank you for this experience. I invite, but now, pay attention. Bartek. Bartek is an old-timer in competitions. I don't know how he does it, but you win every motorcycle competition on the internet, and it's not sad. This is a hit.
The good streak continues.
The good streak continues. Bartek, thanks to his online activity, has just come back from a trip to Kyrgyzstan, and today he's going to try to cross the Siloche Desert on a Honda Africa Twin. What made you decide to write a comment under the Africa Twin Challenge?
You know, first I wrote it and then I thought about what I had just done. And the second time, after I had already won, you know, after I dared to go off-road in Kyrgyzstan for the second time, I thought, okay, let's set the bar as high as possible.
Exactly, because the idea is, so what did you actually write there?
I wrote, show that the Africa Twin is truly good for absolutely everyone. Meaning, take me, a complete off-road novice and a rather small person for such a significantly big machine, and do the ultimate comprehensive test. Let me ride it across the vast Siloche Desert.
So no, it's not like technology will turn you into a pro rider. Well, listen, we'll just see how it goes. Here we have Dominic Bartelak, a licensed guide. We won't say which company, but overall he's the best person if you want to ride around the Krakow-Częstochowa upland and the surrounding areas. The best place for that is Folwar Kamik, perfect for tearing it up and chasing geese. Tell me, do you think riding an Africa Twin across the Siloche Desert at a height of 1.60 meters is a challenge? You mean like a task?
Yeah, it's a task. It's definitely a task. It won't be easy. To ride such heavy equipment, you need a lot of muscle, or even twice as much muscle.
No, it has muscles, but the legs don't feed it.
Hidden. So hidden, right?
Well, listen, let's do it this way so as not to prolong it. Because it will be a long way from these trucks, from these geese to the Siloche Desert anyway, so as not to prolong it. A quick tutorial on how to drive on sand. And at this point, luckily, I'm stepping aside. I'll be running around the dunes, and you guys have a great time.
All right, thanks.
I'm not lifting it.
Good luck.
Thanks. It is off. Eyes closed. We saved it with the throttle as usual. All that time. Eyes half closed. Full throttle. But it's safe. Still going. He was supposed to go left and then right. It frozen from side to side. It frozen like devil. Oh, bam! As my son would say. But satisfied. Now you impress me, but at first you were like, oh, but it will be good material. But damn.
I've already thought about it too. Recorded.
Ripped.
I wanted to take credit for it. But your advice later showed how much progress there was from one run to the next. But I also don't like riding on sand. It keeps the throttle on and suddenly I look at you guys. What did you feel when your eyes were closed?
They were open. But you know, it was only after I braked that it really hit me what was happening.
The bike was everywhere, right?
It was tossing around at first. It was shaking in every direction.
All right, but what did you feel like after the first impression? Did you think, hey, maybe this wasn't the best idea? So what came next?
Then what came was, I kept riding. Once I was riding, it didn't matter where the sand was around me. So I just kept going as long as I could. And then I even managed to control it. That was a surprise.
Incredible. Dominic, have you ever had such a talented student before?
That doesn't happen often. There are some, I won't deny it. There are people who can do it and actually enjoy it. The most important thing is to enjoy it.
The most important thing is to keep the throttle on. Honestly, let me tell you, keep the throttle on.
Respect. When I was watching, at times that throttle was stuck wide open. He kept it on the whole time.
I really don't think I could have kept it on like that for very long. I allowed myself to comment once too. I really liked it. So what? Hey, listen, so what are your impressions? I'll get you in a moment, but what are your impressions of the Africa Twin? When I saw how you were riding with someone experienced, it just goes whoosh.
It's a nice bike, good for someone like Bartek, who's just starting out. This bike really lets you enjoy off-roading and riding in the dirt.
Surprisingly, actually, because it's a big litter class motorcycle. Huge! But the person, how many times have you ridden off-road? You rode across Kyrgyzstan, but that was on a light DRZ and just on gravel roads.
It was supposed to be safe. And we were here once.
Yeah, 2 days on the CRF 250. Wait, no, you went here for 2 days. You just rode the CRF 250 for 2 days? Yeah, yeah. And damn, you got on a bike that weighs. How much do you weigh?
I weigh 60 and he weighs about 230.
Well, five times the eye.
It was a great ride. You can feel how heavy it is, but it is incredibly versatile. As if I had one space in the garage. Well, that's great.
Yes. No, listen. To sum up, the Africa Twin will pull a truck, burn a clutch, plow a field, herd a goose, and transport Bartek through the desert.
Through everything.
It will transport, although not without some tip overs.
Hey, it's there. Well, in the desert, you probably can't learn to drive on sand and not fall over.
But you also have to learn how to fall over.
Well, that was quite an exhilarating flight, let me tell you indeed.
I wanted to land it with a telemark.
But you know, a telemark is with your legs, not your head and arms.
Okay.
Next time,
How was it? Not gladiator, but glabiator.
ladies and gentlemen, the Africa Twin and Bartek the Gladiator, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you as well. Thanks.
Thanks. We recommend it.
We just recommend it.
We recommend the Siedlce Desert and the Africa Twin. Let it have it. Bye.